Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. In this video, I want to talk about panic attacks. I'm very blessed and thankful and pleased to be 14 months free of panic attacks. So that's a great thing. So this video is coming from a person that has been there and done that, and that has done some research as well, okay? So let's get into it. What is a panic attack? A panic attack is basically extreme levels of anxiety. When you're experiencing a panic attack, you're experiencing extreme anxiety, basically. And then there's usually elements of fear wrapped in that anxiety that we're feeling. Okay? So, what causes this? In my opinion, it's repressed emotions in extremely stressful situations. Let's say you had some trauma or some highly stressful events and you've bottled up your emotions and your feelings. Because sometimes we feel like we're on a defense. You know, we go through something and we just try to deal with the technicalities of it. Let's say we lost a loved one. And it's like, look, I don't have time to sit here and cry. I got a funeral to plan. I have these sympathy cards to reply to. I have their estate to clear up right now. I got a will to address. I have all these things to take care of. I don't have time to be feeling stuff. And sometimes I'm guilty of this. This is my personality. Sometimes I'm very practical, I'm very technical, and I want to just go ahead and find the solutions and not get wrapped up in my feelings so much. But what happens is over time, if you leading your life this way, you have building blocks of emotions that are pent up inside of you that haven't been properly released. And the best way that I can describe this is imagine having a beach ball and you're in a 30-foot pool and you somehow manage to get that beach ball all the way to the base of the pool. You're a very strong person for doing that, number one, to be able to push it down like that. But what type of pressure is down there with that beach ball for you to be able to hold it down there? Number one, you're not going to be able to hold it down there forever. And what's going to happen eventually is that beach ball, you're going to lose your grasp of it and it is going to shoot up to the top of the pool with vengeance. And I believe that's what panic attacks are. It's our body's way of saying, look, we've held in these feelings that you've been having. We've pent it in as long as we could. And for your own safety, I'm sorry, but we're going to have to release this. And we're releasing it through this panic attack. And it's your body's way of trying to get your attention to address something or things that are bottled up inside of you that you need healing from. That's causing you so much anxiety and fear. And a lot of people might say, you know what, I'm not afraid of anything. I don't have any fears. What is this fear part of the anxiety? It could be a fear of feeling your feelings. You ever heard someone say, you know what, I'm afraid to get angry because I don't know what I'm going to do. I might mess around and kill somebody. Like, some people really don't want to tap into their emotions in a certain way because they feel like they might lose control. And that's another reason why sometimes we push it down. Or they might feel like, oh, that's not going to feel good. If I surrender to what I'm really feeling right now, I'm going to feel really crappy. And I don't want to feel that. Like, I'd rather push that down, get busy over here, think about something else. But repressing it is giving up your ability to have that control. Because that's what happens. If we don't naturally just go ahead and take care of it and we push it down, now our body takes control and decides when to release it. And they're releasing it through the panic attacks. Because I found that when I did the work with myself, when I got counseling, when I addressed all these traumas and hardships and things that have been weighing on me, things that I pushed way back in my subconscious and I didn't want to deal with it, the panic attacks stop. Okay? So the key here is addressing getting to the bottom of what is causing your anxieties. You have to get real with yourself and open and honest about that, so that you can then try to find some peace with it. Where you're basically eliminating that anxiety. And you're definitely not repressing it anymore. You're acknowledging it. Okay? So a lot of people wonder, what does an anxiety attack feel like? What does it feel like to have one? How do I know if I ever had one? Like, some people may not even know that they've had a panic attack, and they did. Well, for me, it felt like a complete loss of control. My heart was beating, it felt like my heart was beating 1,000 times faster than it normally did, which made me go into this hyperventilation type of state where I'm trying to catch my breath. I'm like, am I having a heart attack? Am I dying? It will make the person feel like they're dying, because you can just be sitting there calmly and then your heart start pounding really fast. You're struggling to catch your breath. You feel so weak as well at that time. Like, I couldn't even hold a cup of water to my mouth when I was having the worst ones. You feel very weak, because when your heart is working like that, your energy is elsewhere right now. Your energy is going into that anxiety attack that you're having, and there's not much left for you to use to do much else but to feel what's going on with that. Okay? It's very stressful. It's a very stressful feeling, and it can be scary for a person, especially if they don't know what's going on. Now, after I had a few of them, I was able to understand my body. I was very in tune with my body, and I could feel it coming on, and then I could make adjustments. If I was driving, I knew that I needed to pull over very soon. If I was on the phone with someone, I politely got off with them without letting them know I'm getting off because I'm about to have a panic attack. If I was about to go into a store, I didn't. And then I've even had some at my job, right at my computer, silently, and people didn't even know, because I sat still and I allowed the process to occur. Okay? So let's talk about that. What can you do during a panic attack? Because yes, we're going to be working to get rid of the panic attacks, but in the meanwhile, you might still have them. What can you do during the panic attacks to help yourself get through it more smoothly, more peacefully, or however you want to look at it? Okay? First of all, realize that you're not dying. Okay? No matter how out of control this panic attack gets, you're not dying. A lot of people think that they are because they have that feeling. You're not dying. I know it's very unpleasant, it's very discomforting, but you're not dying, okay? That's number one. Number two, when you feel the panic attack coming, don't fight against it. Don't resist it. There's nothing you can really do to stop it at that point. When it's pending on you, surrender to it. Surrender to it. That means try to relax yourself as much as possible. And I know that sounds like, how in the world am I going to relax myself? I'm trying to even breathe right now. It just means don't add to it. Don't add to whatever is going. Okay? Calm yourself as much as you can and work on trying to get as deep of breaths as you can. All right, my next tip is don't excite yourself. This isn't the time to start making phone calls, to get up and go walk around. I'm sorry, someone's messaging me. This is the time to relax as much as you can. Do not exert yourself physically, because your heart is already pounding 1,000 times. And what raises your heart rate? Exercise, moving. So if it's already naturally in that state, don't you then go and heighten it by doing more stuff. You need to be still right now. You need to be still and just focus on getting deep breaths. I mean, if you're near a refrigerator and you can manage to get yourself cold water, that can help. That can help. But if you're feeling so weak that getting up to get that glass of cold water is going to, cripple you that much more in that moment, then perhaps you won't be able to utilize that. But if you have water with you, I found that drinking cold water helped me. I also found if you could have any type of cold compress, that helps. Putting it on your temple. Now, I've had a panic attack that has lasted for 3 hours. I woke up out of my sleep one day and into this panic attack, and oh my gosh, thank God my son was nearby. I was able to get his attention, and he held the water, got the cold water, and helped me drink. I'm sorry, excuse the noise in the background, but I'm about to be wrapping this up anyway. I want to just give you a warm embrace if you are having panic attacks. And I want to give you some hope. There's the other end of the tunnel, and I'm there. I haven't had them. And, I appreciate that. And you can get there too, but you have to unpack that suitcase, all those deep, raw emotions that you may have pushed down. You got to unpack them and deal with them. Those fears, you got to deal with them and address it. And then when you do have the panic attacks, just surrender to it and allow it to run its process. Because if you resist it, you're just going to make it last longer, and you're actually going to heighten your panic attack, because now you're adding anxiety onto the natural anxiety that's coming with the attack, and that's going to increase it and make you feel worse. Okay? And just know that you're not dying. It just means that you need to deal with your emotions. There's some emotions that you need to deal with. And once you do, you will find that these panic attacks lessen and lessen, because it was a gradual progression for me. And they just got smaller and smaller, and then they eventually stopped. Does it mean that I'll never have one again? I can't say that. Anything could happen to me that something else could happen, and, you never know. But at least I know how to deal with it if it does come into my life again. But I'm very focused and conscious about my emotional health anymore to try my best to prevent that. Okay? So I hope this video helps someone understand panic attacks better and help someone cope with panic attacks, and actually help someone begin to prevent them as well. Lessen them to preventing them. Okay? Welcome to my channel if you've never been here before. I do upload a lot of videos just on well-being, period. So if you're interested in my channel, feel free to subscribe. I do upload videos quite frequently. If this video resonates with you, go ahead and hit the like button. And stay well. Stay well. Stay well and acknowledge yourself. You can tackle this, and you can get to the other side of the rainbow, okay? So, as always, until next time, take care.